Good morning, guys. So today you find me outside on my balcony. So if you hear a little bit of noise in the background, don't mind that. That's just people living their lives, doing what they're doing, walking across, doing their jobs, etc. So it might be a bit noisy, but that's not going to stop us from getting down to the topic at hand. And as you can see, guys, I've left a clear white space for you just for today's topic, just to double down on today's topic, because today's topic will involve a visualization process, and I'll actually give you a step-by-step guide on how you can incorporate this into your daily life so that you can acquire more success, more momentum, more progress. So we're going to be talking about the law of attraction today, and I'm sure that you've heard of the law of attraction. And essentially what the law of attraction is that anything that you essentially visualize for yourself, you can eventually manifest it into your physical reality. So anything that starts from the lower consciousness, which is inside your head, and is taken out into the higher consciousness, which is the physical reality. So taking things from your mind and bringing them to fruition into reality. So an example of this would be any great inventor that you can think of, Nikola Tesla, Thomas Edison, etc. If you read their biographies and their documentaries, you'll see that throughout their time they spent a lot of time visualizing things that didn't actually exist. And a lot of people thought they were crazy because they saw something that other people could not exist. But because of the law of attraction, and how much they deeply visualized all of the things that they eventually ended up creating, they were able to manifest that from the mental ether into the physical ether, which is the physical reality. And that's the process that we want to discuss today, and we want to learn how to apply that to our lives so that we can get better outcomes and essentially progress faster than we actually are. So when you look at the law of attraction, it's going to come down into two steps. So you first got your visualization process, and then you have your action process. So when you see a lot of the content on the law of attraction, they seem to always forget that the most important part is actually the action. The visualization is important, don't mind me, it's important. But the action part is the most important part, because you can have all these dreams and all these visions in your head, but if you do not use your physical body to actually go out into the world and pursue those things, then essentially that's where all of those visions are going to die. They're going to die with you in your head. When you go to the grave, you're going to take them along with you. So a lot of people, when they create this type of content, they forget to underline the most important part, which when you look at the word, the law of attraction, you should read it as the law of Attr-action. So the law of Attr-action, because you always have to put action into the steps. But the visualization is very important, but the action is more important. It's better to apply it. It's better to be a person who acts upon things as opposed to being a person who just visualizes but never acts on anything. I'd rather have no vision and act than to actually have a vision but no action, not have the energy to pursue it. Because that's just going to make you more depressed, man. You're going to start questioning, why can't I actually fulfill the things that I want? So we've put it down into two sides. We have the visualization side, and that's where we'll start off. Which the visualization stage is very simple. It's just a matter of you taking the time out of your day to just have a moment to yourself and to literally sit down and play all the successes you want in your head like a movie. So a lot of people, they're gonna see you, man, they'll see you just sitting there thinking, what the fuck is this man's doing? But they don't know that you're not even physically, you're physically there, but you're not mentally there. You're actually somewhere else. You're experiencing all the things that you want and all the things that you want to create because you're visualizing. So I'll give you an example of how this helped me when I actually had a driver's test. And I didn't do too many lessons. I actually probably drove for about like a week or two before I went for my test. But I had so much confidence in my ability due to the fact that prior to me going to that driving test, I spent almost every waking moment visualizing my success on that test. So before that, I actually got to see the course and I got to see exactly what we were going to be doing for the test. And because of that, it helped me to my advantage because I was able to visualize exactly how I was going to go through every single part of the course, every single stage of the test, and how I was going to come out of it successful and leave at the end of the day with my driver's license. Now, the side twist is I actually failed the first time and I didn't pass, but because I had drilled it deep down in my head that, mate, I have to get this driver's license. I have to be successful. That's what I visualized. That's the only thing I envisioned. Anything apart from that is a failure at this point. So because of that, immediately the next day, I went straight back for that test and I got my driver's license and I got the success that I envisioned. So you can see that there were 2 steps to me getting to that point, which was prior to the test, visualizing my success. And then once the test started, was now executing and acting upon the visualization that I had prior to doing the test. And because of that, those 2 things in combination, I was able to actually get the outcome that I wanted in the way that I envisioned it. So now, when it comes to you and what you desire in your life, essentially you're just going to repeat the same process of letting whatever success you have in your head consume your mind. Think about it, breathe it, live it, eat it. Everything about that success should be a part of your life. Envision it, see it every single day, see yourself winning every single day. Once you've done that, you've already done a majority of the work. Because just from that visualization process, your body automatically is going to look and scan the environment for opportunities that are going to help you to progress towards your success or your vision. So naturally, just like that, just from the visualization process, this is going to be something that you're not even going to have to think about, but your body's just going to do it on autopilot because of how much you've instilled that vision into your brain. That every time you walk amongst the people of this earth and all that dwell on this earth, you will be moving in the direction of your vision because you've connected those mental nodes in your head so that you acquire that success. So now everything that you do in your life, somehow, due to the visualization process, it's not somehow, it's a subconscious thing, but due to the visualization process, everything in your life is going to be tailored towards your objective. And just like that, it's going to make it much easier for you to actually obtain your goals, because now it's not as much of a deliberate effort as it has to be. Whereas for other people, it's a monumental effort because that's not their vision, that's not their dream. So when something like that is brought upon them, it now becomes a burden. When for you, because you know that that is what you ultimately want, it becomes an opportunity. So you need to be very mindful of that when you're envisioning these outcomes, be as detailed as possible. Go down to every single detail, from the color of your shoelace to the color of your shoelace tip. Everything. Go down into details. The blade of grass, the leaf, the tree. Wherever you are in your head when you're envisioning these things, be as detailed in your description as possible, so that when you actually go out onto the world, you're doing it on a subconscious level. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, which is the visualization process, because it's not a hard step, man. All of these secrets are there for free. The book is there for free because they know that with this type of content, this type of content has the potential to change a lot of people's lives, but a lot of people will not apply it correctly. So that's why I'm here to help you guys apply it correctly. And we'll move on to the next part now, which now comes down to the action part and taking action steps towards whatever you envision. So now, after you spent the amount of time creating the vision in your head, the very detailed vision in your head, essentially a movie in your head, once you've created the movie and you've come to the conclusion and you've seen how it played out and you know exactly what you want, the next thing is to get up off your ass, get off the couch, and then go make it happen. The visualization process is always going to make that easier because you've already told yourself that you're going to do it. You've already experienced it in your head. So now when you go out and do it in the real world, it's like you're doing it for the second time. It's like you've done it before. Because one thing that you need to understand is that the brain cannot distinguish between what goes on in here and what goes on out here. So ultimately what you think is what you become. What you see is what you become as well. So both your mind and your environment are influencing your outcomes. Both your mind and your environment are influencing your outcomes. So now it's time to take action steps and actually start doing the things that you envisioned in the way that you envisioned them. And somewhere along the path, it's either you're going to get that success or you're going to get something quite similar that's going to satisfy you just as much. Because anything that you do not get exactly the way that you want, it might be due to a factor that's out of your control. But with the law of attraction, these are all things that are in our control. Our vision, our mind is in our control, and our body and the steps that we're going to take, it's in our control. So the next part is simply just take action, man, in any way that you can. And once you've done the visualization process, I told you, your mind will scan the environment for opportunities that are going to correlate with whatever success you've envisioned. So it's just a case of putting yourself in the best position to act. And how can you put yourself in the best position to act? Well, I'm sure you probably thought when I was going to talk about action, it was going to be steps on how to actually acquire the things that you want, but it's not a guide on steps on how to acquire the things that you want. But it's more about becoming the person that can attract those things. So when it comes to action, the action steps that you should be taking are the steps to becoming the person that can attract those things, the person that can have the energy to go and achieve those things. So it now comes down to the step of action. You need to start with yourself. Start with your physical fitness. Start with your mental fitness. Start with your social fitness. Make yourself the biggest and best attraction point. Make yourself the biggest, best and strongest fucking magnet that you can. That is the action part. The action part is not you. Let's say your vision is to become a football player. The action part is not you going to play the game. Because anyone can play the game. Anyone can be good at the game. But what are the things that are going to set you apart so that you actually get the success that you want? And that's going to be the action steps, which is taking care of your physical fitness, your social fitness, and your mental fitness. Making sure that you're eating the right things. Making sure that you're keeping your body mobile and strong. Making sure that you're eating the right food so that you have the energy to carry out these practices throughout your day. Making sure that you're reading books so that you're mentally sharp and literate and you're always improving your vocabulary. Become a magnet. That's essentially what the law of attraction is. Become a magnet. So that you do not have to bust your ass to get the things that you want. But instead, the things that you want are busting their ass to get to you. Because you've become such a big attraction point due to the fact that you had a vision and you carried it out. Simple as that, guys. It's not rocket science, it's not complicated. And people make it seem like success is harder to get than it actually is. But it's not. If you're finding success difficult to get, then maybe what you envision is actually a burden for you. Because this is supposed to be fun, man. You're supposed to enjoy this process and learn more about yourself and get more in tune with yourself. So that's the law of attraction, guys. Nothing too complicated, nothing too complex. It's literally just visualization. So I left the space right there for you. Just visualize. I'll give you my vision of success right there. But visualization. Visualization. It's my vision. It's my version of success right there. It's what I see for myself. And that's why I'm carrying out the steps right now, as I speak, to make that a reality. But it's not a burden on me. It's enjoyment, it's fun, it's pleasure, it's work, and it's play. So, that vision. And then, that action. And that action is us becoming the best versions of ourselves, so that we become the biggest magnet and attraction point that's going to attract the success that we want. We are not running towards the success. The success is running towards us, but it's only going to run towards us faster when we improve ourselves, when we improve our being, and we improve the way that we operate amongst the people of this earth, the animals, the trees, and the spirits. So action, guys. Every single day, take a step. 1% better, 2% better, whilst moving towards your goal. And essentially, that's the law of attraction, man. This shit has no timeline. This can be 1 year, or it can be 50 years of your life, man. You just have to dedicate yourself and keep working on it. Just because it doesn't work in a short amount of time doesn't mean that you should stop, because ultimately this practice is going to improve your life regardless. But I know that if you carry it out with complete dedication and commitment for life, eventually you will get what you desire.